Hey everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. We're going to do a preview of, look at my shirt, that's right, the British, that's the Union Jack, the British Grand Prix coming up this Sunday in London, England, which I believe is the capital of the whole UK. Is that right, Giles?
That is correct.
So, the perfect person, probably the best person in the entire world to do this preview is the man who has been covering British bodybuilding since he was 2 years old. Or was it 17, 16?
Yeah, in 1995, I was 2 years old.
Okay. Yeah, right. So, Giles Tiger Thomas joining us from the UK. And first, I want to get some facts right. Is it true this show has not been held since 2012, correct? When Shawn Rhoden won.
Yeah, Shawn Rhoden won the... I covered it for MD because that was the year they brought the British finals and the Grand Prix together in Manchester. And Flex Lewis won the 212. Shawn Rhoden won the Open. And they did have, and then that was it. That was 2011, 2012. But then in 2016, Body Power put on the Body Power Pro,
right,
which was won by Roly Winkler. That was the year he came back all bigger, but then he managed to shrink his waist. And I'm still puzzled as how he managed to do that. And then that was Nathan Asha's pro debut at that. No, it wasn't his pro debut. No, it was pro debut because he took. Yeah, he took second place there, and he was very close to rolling.
Yeah, I mean, he still feels he had that show, and, maybe he did. I don't know. But, so I want to, this is where I'm going to test your bodybuilding knowledge, and I know you're going to shine. The last time a British pro won a show on British soil, according to what I could find, was Dorian Yates at the 1996 British Grand Prix. Can you think of anyone else that's won it since then?
Well, Open.
Yeah, Open.
Well, I know Flex Lewis won 2011-2012 British Grand Prix.
Okay.
But, it was nice. Before that, it was 1993. That was Charles Claremont who won. I've got the photo up there.
Yeah,
who won the British Grand Prix. He beat Flex Wheeler. Flex Wheeler was second. Kevin Arone was third.
Wow.
Eddie Schmidt was fourth. Milan Sadek was fifth.
You guys, look up Charles Claremont, because I know a lot of these younger people have no idea who we're talking about. Claremont with an E at the end. That guy was freaking great. So, let's do this. Let's get right into the preview because the show's coming up in 3 days. It's happening Sunday. It's a Sunday show. And just got word, AJ's flying in and you two are going to be there doing a play-by-play for us spontaneously. Oh, yes. You didn't know about it? Well, AJ told me that's what you guys are doing.
No, we are. Yeah, AJ did mention it 2 days ago.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to be there. We've got press passes, so we're going to do a little bit of play-by-play, and because the thing is, we drive back up that night because we've got to film Global Muscle episode 27 on Monday, which goes out on Tuesday. So we'll be doing a full breakdown of the show and having like a proper wrap-up in the intro in episode 27 of Global Muscle.
Right on. And that's about a 4-hour drive from where you are, London.
Yeah, I got to drive there and back in the same day, so that's going to be fun.
Oh, boy. All right, so let's get into it. The heavy favorite, there's only one division. This is just men's open. The Two Bros Pro, they're putting on a big amateur show along with it. But this is the only pro show, just a men's open, which that's fine by me. I'm cool with that. The heavy favorite is obviously Nathan Asha, the prophecy going in, because Nathan is top-ranked pro that's doing this. It's his, hopefully... This is where he qualifies for Olympia. So he had a great year last year. Won New York Pro, California Pro. Yep. 8th at the Olympia. I know he's trying, he's fighting and scraping to get into that top 5, top 6. But he's been moving up the ranks. I don't know how closely you've been following his social media. He's looking really good. Before we even get into everybody else, what do you think Nathan's chances are?
Well, he's going to win it.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, it's no disrespect to the other competitors, but I mean, he'd have to do something absolutely. I don't know what he'd have to do to lose this one. I mean, he's been set 12th, then 7th, then 8th in the Olympia. He's probably going to make top 6 this year, the Olympia. So really, I mean, he's kind of like one of the A-listers for this show. So I don't see. And I've seen some video and footage and photos, and he's looking very, very good. He's obviously not taking it easy on this one because sometimes, some of these guys, they think, this will be an easy qualifier, and they come in and they leave it, and then there's somebody really good or unknown comes in and takes him out. But Nathan's not doing that. He's coming in at his best, I think. I haven't seen enough photos to see if he's made any significant improvements to his physique, but he looks as good as he always has. So
I'm sure you're going to let us know when he takes the stage Sunday. You'll give us your objective opinion on the back, the hamstrings, the areas that everyone always wants to see improved on Nathan. But,
well, we went to see him. Me and AJ went to see him. Was it a couple of months ago? Went to see him at his gym.
Right.
Talking about his hamstrings, and he was showing some pieces of equipment in his gym that he'd actually bought, and he says, that I really want to, and he was telling us in quite a lot of detail about how he was going to improve his hamstrings and stuff like that, because there's a few areas he needed to fill out, but he's been training hard. Thing is, he's got his own gym there. He can do his own thing. He seems to be very, very relaxed and focused, and he seems to be doing really well. So I think it's going to be, hopefully it'll be a good year for him.
Next up in the rankings, James Hollingshead, who, we kind of thought, I thought he was shutting it down for the season. I didn't think he was going to keep going, but he's looking great. I applaud him for his body not shutting down and refusing to cooperate, because the pictures I've been looking at the past few days kept his fullness, the conditions there. It doesn't look like his body's tired because he's already done 3 shows this season. He did New York Pro, he was 8th. I saw him up in Toronto again, he was 6th, and he did 3rd place at that big man show in Spain. I don't want to say the wrong name of the city, the town, that people get all butthurt, but it was Spain. So he's already done 3 shows this season, but only one of those gave him any points toward the Olympia, because you only get points in the top 5. So I assume, I don't know if you've talked to him, I assume he's trying to get enough points to get to the Olympia.
Yeah, I would seem so, yeah. How many points has he got, do you know?
Well, I don't know. With the big man show, I'm probably like a 3rd tier show or something. Maybe it's not even about the points. Maybe it's the fact that this is the first British pro show that they've had. Well, the Irish show last year didn't have open. This is the first show that's had open bodybuilding pro show in Britain in 9 years. So, is that right? No, my math is off again. 7 years. Wait a minute. What year are we? 2012. What year is this? 2019? 7 years. Okay,
yeah.
We're back.
Well, you had 3 years with the body part.
Yeah. But still, it's I think you said long ago when you heard about this show being that it was going to be promoted, you encouraged all the British pros to do it, because this is a great chance to represent your country. You don't have to leave. You don't have to fly off to any other part of Europe. You don't have to go to the U.S. It's right there, and UK's not that huge. It's probably driving distance for most of these guys.
Well, I was kind of surprised, but not surprised to hear when James kind of jumped in at the last minute, because he stays actually in condition all year round. I don't think he's been out of condition since he won the British finals, when he turned pro at the end of 2017. So I thought he was just kind of shutting it down. But in some photos, he kind of looked like he was kind of shrinking a little bit, because he was, obviously taking a bit of break off training. So I don't know what his mindset was, whether he actually fully intended to do this show all along, or whether he just decided to kind of jump in at the last minute. But I saw some photos, and he looks very lean, looks very dry. I was kind of excited. I was a bit disappointed when I heard he wasn't doing it, whether that was true or whether it was part of the game plan. But it'd be good. It'd be interesting to see how he looks up there against, because I'm interested to see how he looks up against Samson as well, because him and Samson came. Samson was 5th at the Prague last year. James was 6th at the Prague last year, but both have significantly improved. So it's going to be interesting to see, how they're looking and how they compare. So to see who's kind of pulled ahead of who. So I'll be interested in seeing that comparison, seeing those two.
So let's talk about Samson. This is a guy I've never seen in person yet. You've been following him since he was a junior, I guess, right? He's been on the scene in Britain for a while.
Not that long.
No, he's only got that one. He's only done that one pro show in Prague, right?
No, he did. Romania.
Okay.
As well.
Okay.
He did Romania. I think I've got 8th place in my head.
Okay, so those are both last fall. They were both post Olympia shows.
I think it was 9th, because I think
It's all right. It's
not okay. Well, he turned pro at the Diamond Cup in 2017, and he took 5th at the British finals that year, and he's only been competing since 2014.
Wow.
So he's a very fast improver. So I'm going to be, and he seems to have been really gunning for this one show. So it'll be very interesting to see how his posing is going to be very good. Yeah. And I think I've got a feeling I think because he really wants to go after Nathan, but I don't know whether that, unless he's made real massive leaps in his physique, I don't think he's gonna do that. But I think he's going to be in that first call out because he's got a beautiful shape and very, very good symmetry, nice posing, nice presentation. So I think I'm very interested to see how much he's improved, because his rate of improvement since he turned pro at the Diamond Cup into 2017 has been incredible, and he's been competing constantly. So, and I think he's probably really hungry for this particular contest as well. So I'm going to be very excited to see that.
Well, now, what does Samson still need to be able to really push someone like Nathan?
Just more time, more size. But he's doing it the right way. He's kind of doing it. His physique is very even, and he's very. He seems to be very, very driven. So I think he's just going to be a work in progress. Yeah. And I don't think he's going to take up Nathan. I just don't see that happening. No. But he will be. I would be very surprised if he wasn't in the top three. And I think he's going to be the one that a lot of people's eyes are drawn to, because I think he's going to be someone who's going to bring a lot of improvements. But like I said, I'm really interested to see Samson versus James, because because James beat Samson at the British Finals 2017. A year later at Prague, Samson then beat James. So they're kind of one each at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see those two, because they're both very, very, very good physiques, and they're very good pros, actually. They've got very good potential.
Now, I saw this name on the list, and I was taken aback. Zak Khan. Is Zak really doing this show?
I believe he is, yeah.
Wow. Did you know that?
I didn't have a clue.
Because he did Global Muscle Radio not even, about 2 months? What's it been? Maybe 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. He made no mention of competing again, or especially this particular contest.
No.
I imagine everybody in the UK bodybuilding scene kind of knows somebody who knows somebody, so how did he keep this a secret?
I honestly don't know. Because I spoke to Zak. I spoke to him maybe 2 weeks ago, because I've invited him to. There's a dinner on the final night when we bring Phil Heath over. Okay. For the Muscle Pro Tour, and I was chatting to him, and we were chatting a little bit, but he didn't mention anything. So I was actually a bit upset. Actually, he didn't tell me. But at the end of the day, it kind of has brought a lot of excitement to the show. So I've got no issue with it. I'm not, not upset. I was upset for about 30 minutes, and I was like, why did he tell me we're friends? But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because the thing with Zak, he stays in very good condition. He kind of just downsizes. So for him to kind of, he could probably 8 to 10 weeks decide to do a show, and he stays covered up all the time. He trains kind of in quiet gyms. So he's probably just got slightly bigger, and not many people, it probably hasn't got many tongues wagging, because they think, oh, well, that's just Zak. He just, he goes bigger and then smaller, and, he doesn't get fat. He doesn't go, his face probably didn't change. So he's probably just got slightly bigger under the clothes. And I expect he'll look good. He looked good. He stripped off. Well, I look at him, was it in 2015? He came to my gym when he came to see Patrick, when Rosie was doing the Amateur Olympia. Yeah. And he was wanting to do the Finland show, and it was in 2 weeks' time, and he stripped off me and Patrick and he says, do you think I should do it? And I think we said no, because I don't know whether you could pull it round in 2 weeks, but he's so big. I mean, it's kind of a silly thing to say, really. It's like a bit of an obvious thing to say, but I mean, he's just such a monster, and I just keeps that waistline nice and tight. I'd be interested to see who he's been working with. I'll have a chat with him on the weekend. In fact, I've just messaged him today, because I want him to come on the show Monday or Tuesday, so that'll be good.
He's been, Zak Khan fans who want to see him on stage have been left wanting. The guy's been a pro for 10 years now. He turned pro 2009 British. He's only done 4 pro years. I mean, that's...
Hang on. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's two Dallas.
Yeah, Tampa was his last show.
Tampa, and then he did Arnold Europe.
So that's I know he had the quad tears, and that certainly took some time away, but man, real true Zen fan, I'd be pretty upset they didn't compete more. Maybe he will now. I don't know. At least a couple times. Come on.
no. It's like this has brought a lot of excitement, a lot of hype to the show, because he is a big man. It will get people very, very excited when they're there. It's going to be, because apparently I heard that they were going to announce him when they announced they were going to announce him on the day, but I don't think he had to sign the contract and put his name on the list. I think they tried to keep it under wraps, but as you know, in the pro league it doesn't work that way. You've got to sign a contract, which then goes on the list, which then we now read for things like this. But
why would you want to keep it secret? Wouldn't you want to sell tickets
Yeah, ask the promoter.
I mean, I'm sure there's more than a few Zak Khan fans who, if they heard he was in the show, they might be a lot more inclined to come attend if they know he's going to be in it. So.
I would imagine, though, it has sold tickets, though, because people love Zak. I mean, he's a huge personality, and he's still massively followed, just not just in the UK scene, but all over Europe. So hopefully this has added a touch of excitement. It's just going to be good to see the James, the Samsons, the Nathans, and the
we got another James. Now everyone else said UK on the list. His said South Wales. So did South Wales secede from the Union? They're not part of your country anymore?
Hey, I'm from South Wales. I'm from South Wales.
Okay, so I don't know why it just didn't say United Kingdom like everybody else. But
no, I think maybe that's him copying Flex Lewis.
Oh, Flex used to do that?
When Flex Lewis was announced one year at the Olympia, and they said, "No, from Great Britain," and he went over to the mic and he says, "No, I'm from Wales, not Great Britain."
Not the bloody Brits. I don't know what that was, Scotland. But so he was a middleweight when he won the overall British, which is pretty unusual, I think.
That was 2008.
Yeah, that's right. Then he took third at the British Grand Prix Open. Was it Open or 212?
No, that was 2011 in the 212, and that was a good class. That was a big class. That was huge class. There was 10, 15, 20 guys in that. Flex Lewis was first, John Hodgson was second, and James Llywelyn was third. And he looked really, really good that year, actually.
He did a little detour in 2016, went over to the NABA organization. He won their British finals. He won his class, the short class at their Universe. Came back to the IFBB Pro League last year at the Ireland Pro, 212, did 8th place. He's a guy, he's got to be in his 40s by now, I'm thinking, right, James?
I think he's my age. He's 43.
Okay. But always looks great. He's not posting throwbacks. These are all current pictures all the time, and he always looks in shape. Always. Just him and the other guy that's always in shape is Anth Bales. These guys look like they could step on stage any minute if they had to. But so James, has he ever done Open before, James?
Open? No, he's never done Open before. But he did the Olympia one year. I think he got 13th.
Okay.
In the I think it was the 202, and he came third in 2009. I think it was Eduardo Correa and Jose Raymond. I think he took third. That's when, if you made top three, you qualify for the Olympia. So he qualified. So he's had some good placings. He's had third at the Grand Prix, British Grand Prix 2011, and he did the Grand Prix in 2012. I forgot where. I think because I remember Guy Sestiniano was really pissed off that James beat him. Oh. I spoke to him and he says, "Can you believe this James Llywelyn guy beat me?" And I'm like, "Well, he's pretty good. He's pretty, he goes, So, but I remember that. Yeah, I think Guy was. I might be wrong. I think Guy was 9th and then James was 8th or something. Yeah. But I remember that. It was funny.
One of the toughest things about what we do is talking to athletes and disagreeing with them when they think they should have placed better, and trying to explain to them, because I'm objective. I'm looking at physiques. I don't care if I love you or hate you. I'm going to tell you whether you placed where you deserve to be placed, in my opinion. It's nothing personal. If you needed more of this or that, or had too much of this or that, I let people know, and they don't always enjoy hearing that.
Do you remember Jose Raymond's speech when he did his last Olympia last year, and he got on the microphone? And he said, "I'd like to especially thank Steve Weinberger." He says, "Because Steve gave me some really, really horrible days." Yeah. He said, "Because he completely destroyed me some days when I'd go to him asking him for advice on my physique and what I needed to improve on." He said, "But he made me a better bodybuilder." Yeah. And it's like how sometimes people come to me and they'll say, "Oh, what do you think I should have placed?" And I'll say, "Well, do you want me to tell you what I think, or do you want me to tell you what you want to hear?" Yeah. It's because sometimes they'll be 5th, and I said, "Well, actually, I had you 3rd." But also, on the same time, I might have someone where I say, "Well, actually, I had you," like Sean Roden. I mean, the 2017 Olympia. Do you remember when you went up and interviewed him, and he pointed to me and said, "No, I don't want to interview with Giles," because Giles had me 8th place last year when he got 5th. Yeah. And I went, "Yeah, I did," and then walked off. I went to see Flex. You. So I just think, well, at the end of the day, it's a very subjective sport. It's a very, and sometimes they'll say things to maybe get themselves fired up, but it's hard to. Well, it's an opinionated sport, and at the end of the day, my opinion doesn't mean I'm right. Most of the time, I am, but no, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that'll never go away, because sometimes people don't always have an accurate perception of their physique. Sometimes they don't know how good they are either.
run into that. I have run into that too. Especially a lot of times at the amateur level. People have no frame of reference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Next up, from the Czech Republic, Milan Sadek. Third at the New York Pro so far this season. Runner-up in Puerto Rico. Did he also do Big Man? I don't know. I only see 2 shows. But
No. He did, he got third at New York and second at Puerto Rico to John De La Rosa.
Right. So this will be his 3rd show of the season. He's clearly trying to rack up some points for the Olympia. He could easily beat a couple of the people we've spoken about already. Easily. This kid's putting together a hell of a physique.
Milan is so good. He took he was 212 in 2016 or 17. He was a 212 then.
Yeah, last year was his first year as Open. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he came back as an Open. He took
6th at New York.
6th in New York, and now he's come back again, and he's just got a little bit better, and he got 3rd at the New York Pro, which is absolutely incredible. I've got a feeling he's going to be battling for 2nd.
I think so too. I mean,
yeah, I think second's going to be a fight out between Samson, James, and Milan. I think Milan is. I think Milan's going to look really good next to Nathan as well. He's not going to look because he's very balanced. He's very chiseled. I don't think he's got a chance against Nathan, but I think he'll compare well. I think he'll do himself proud. He's not going to get completely blown off the stage, but I think he will get beaten by Nathan. So. But it'd be interesting because he's there's a guy saying Nathan completely messed up, which isn't going to happen. There's a guy that could step in, but I just don't see it happening. I just don't see that happening. So I would say at best 2nd. I think at absolute worst he'll be 3rd.
Okay. So we've talked about these are the guys we've been talking about probably going to be top 5. A few other guys we'll mention who may not be in top 5 necessarily, but they're pretty good. I'd never heard of this guy from Norway until you brought him on the show. Global Muscle Radio, Ole Christian Vaga, and I looked up some pictures of him. He's actually very good. He's a lot better than I thought he was. I'm a little biased. Sometimes I hear like Sweden, Norway, Finland. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm sure they suck, but this guy's actually pretty well put together. A big dude, great condition. What would you say about Ole? How would you rate Ole's physique?
Ole's an absolute monster, but I've not seen him on stage because he did he took a load of 2nd places when he was amateur. I remember when I covered the San Marino with Rosie for MD, the end of 2017, the one that Cedric won. Yeah. And he took 2nd there, and then he got a couple more seconds, and then eventually got his pro card, one of the NPC European shows last year. I think it was Italy or one of those. It was one of them, and he finally got. No, I think it was Copenhagen, Denmark. I think he got his pro card there. So he finally got his pro card. I've not seen him on stage, so I don't know how well, because he looks amazing in pictures. He looks he looks like Rami in pictures. I mean, do you see the videos he did with Rami?
No. Well, actually, yeah, I did see one of them, because they have the same sponsor, I think.
Dragon Farm, yeah, and you just think, shit, he looks, you expect him to be completely dwarfed by Rami, who's like 150 kilos and stuff. But, Ole's a big guy. I'm really curious to see how he looks on stage, because this is his pro debut. He's he's going to bring excitement because everyone loves the big monstrous freaky guys. In fact, I'd be interested to see a call out between him and Zak Khan because they're kind of similar kind of structures and freaky arms and freaky muscle bellies. So I'd be interesting to see that one.
Here's another guy that you had on Global Muscle Radio a few episodes ago is Andrea Presti from Italy. I checked him out. Great shape, great symmetry. From what I recall, he wasn't as massive as most of these guys we're talking about.
Andrea Presti is one of these guys. I think no one's going to see this guy coming because he took 2nd last year in his pro debut, and then he took 4th, I believe, in Romania. It was 2nd in forget which pro show it was, and then he took 4th in Romania. He's competed once or twice this year. He's got really wide shoulders, great back. He still needs a bit more size. He's only 31 years old, but he needs a bit more overall thickness. But he's very sharp, very conditioned. But like nice, small, tight waist, wide shoulders, good back. He's going to be top 6 without a doubt. He's going to be top. I could see him as high as 4th. Maybe if one of the other guys doesn't come in at their best, he could squeeze into 3rd. I see the top 2 being Nathan and Milan. So 3rd to 6th is where I see him, because he's not going to come in off, and he is very good. But he's like Samson. He's kind of a work in progress. He's not there yet, but he's very good, and he will make a dent in this lineup.
Okay, last two guys we'll mention. We're not mentioning everybody. Sorry, my apologies to anybody we're not mentioning. Lukas Wyler from Switzerland, who I'm not familiar with. Have you seen Lukas compete before?
You've seen Lukas compete.
I know Lukas Osladl. Is this the same guy?
No, Tampa. Remember, I interviewed him in Tampa 2017.
Oh, okay, well, you interviewed him. That's why I don't remember him.
He had the J cut, the slick back hair.
Okay.
The Swiss guy. He's very good, actually. He turned pro at the Arnold. I want to say 2015, the overall there, the Arnold Amateur. Yeah. Very, very good. He's a great poser. Really thick, big, fucking massive shoulders, thick chest. He's one of these guys, you see him in pictures by himself, and then you think, why isn't this guy placing better? He's always getting like 7ths and 8ths. Great condition. Now, see, there's a guy that really, because he's been quiet the last year or so, there's a guy that could, sneak into the top 5. Absolutely. He's very good. He's kind of the one I keep forgetting about. He's kind of, when I see Andrea Presti, I kind of get more excited about those names. But Lukas is a guy that I'm very interested to see if he's improved, to see if he can move up, because he's one of these guys you just think, my God, he's got such good potential, because he's got a lovely shape, lovely structure. But he's very good, very good. But he's yet to break through to the top 3s in all these kinds of shows, which he's fully capable of.
Well, I apologize, Lukas, because I didn't remember you or Andrea. It takes me a while to catch up to these guys. Usually, only when they're on the top 5 at the bigger shows that I'm paying attention to. I'm not as good a scholar as you. I admit it, of the sport. The facts and figures. You're just phenomenal. You're the Rain Man of bodybuilding. But I guess that didn't come out right. But last guy is Manuel Canadias from Spain, who that name sounds familiar too. I believe he's pretty good. Well, he must be pretty good as a pro, obviously. But do you know anything about Manuel?
No, I don't. But there's another guy from NABA that's come over. Is it a Russian guy?
Igor.
Yeah.
It's an Igor. I don't know your name. Sorry. I do remember Igor, though, because you don't see that name every day. At least here you don't.
No, his name's come up on because he said he's finally got his pro card. He was a big guy in NABA. I literally just saw one little snippet picture, and they said, he's doing the British Grand Prix. I think he was on the forum, actually.
Okay.
I saw that. So there's another guy, and he looked pretty big. I mean, pretty decent sort of size and everything. But, all in all, I think this is going to be a good show. It's I think the promoters maybe expected like every single British competitor to turn up at that one show. But, like Luke Sandow was due to do it, and then he ended up getting 3rd at the Arnold Classic. Right. And then, obviously, so he's thinking, well, I'm going to shut it down now, because he can't be in prep that long. You think about how long the Arnold was and how long he'd been prepping for. But, I think it's going to be a really good show. I think we know who the winner's going to be, hands down. But
you never know. I mean, 99% sure, but we've been surprised before. Things have happened. You never know,
And I really hope Nathan puts a good posing routine together as well, because I think no seriously.
No, I know you've given him crap about his posing before.
Yeah, because he's got such a lovely aesthetic physique. He's got because he's someone who really likes the '90s aesthetics, but he's kind of got the modern day size and thickness and roundness and fullness. So I'd love to see him do something really kind of like the Vince Taylor or the Sean Ray type pose. I'd love it to see it just once. I think he could
do the Billie Jean routine that Kai Green did. Yeah?
Oh, why not?
Only Kai could do that.
The thing is, you got mass and aesthetics. Like someone like Samson, he's not as good as Nathan, but that guy knows how to pose. I mean, he really puts fantastic pose routines together. So I would love to see. I mean, I don't know whether Nathan's done it for this one, but I'd love to see him go to the Olympia with a really good posing routine. I think it would really make him stand out for the right reasons, and I think it would really showcase his physique in the best light possible, and give him his best chance of making that top 5. Because he's looking to move up now into that top 5, top 6.
Absolutely, and I think this is a year. We'll talk about the Olympia much more in the coming weeks, I'm sure, but this could very well be his year, just for the sheer fact that Phil may or may not be doing it. Let's. I mean, when are we going to get an answer on that, Giles? I know you already know. I know you know. But Steve asks me every day, is Phil doing it? I'm like, damn it. I don't know, dude. He's not telling me. But, obviously.
Ron, all I'll say is he's going to be dieting while he's over.
Okay.
And I'm going to be doing cardio with him to make sure he does it.
Because, Steve's running by scenarios like he's probably not doing it if he's going on this tour. I said, well, let's do the math here. I believe that's still like 10 weeks out from the Olympia at that point. I said, if I was doing the Mr. Olympia and I would only trust one person to make sure I had every single meal I needed when I needed it and had access to every piece, every gym and cardio. The only person I would trust to do a tour like this and stay on my prep would be Giles. Giles could pull it off. Giles could make sure Phil stayed on his Olympia prep, no problems, 100% the whole time where they're driving from here to here. So that would not be an impediment. That's all. You
should see the schedule I've sent to Phil, and he's very precise, very OCD, very he likes everything, just like I do. When I'm planning something out. And he saw it, and we were Skyping last Friday, and he was just like, "Oh, Giles, this is amazing. This is what I kind of, this is what I like. This is how I like to work with people. To know, he likes everything structured, And he said, well, look, I said, all I really need, he says, I'm going to be dieting. He says, and I only need 8 weeks. Okay. 8 weeks. It's 8 weeks. He said all he needs is 8 weeks, and also the tour has gone from 7 days to 8.
Okay, you added an extra day.
So this number keeps popping up, Number 8.
Info about that tour is available on the Global Muscle Radio Instagram.
Yeah. And also we've talked about it in the in Global Muscle as well. Yeah. The tour's fully booked. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy how quick it's all come together. We're planning 2 more tours with other athletes as well, so that's going really, really well. Hopefully do one with Brandon Curry in October. We're just waiting to get that confirmed. Yeah. And we're going to do a posing pro tour as well with 3 Olympia competitors. Oh, wow. So can't say that because they haven't confirmed yet. But as soon as I get back from Vegas after covering the Olympia for MD, we're going to be, the 3 of us going to be, the 3 of the athletes going to be going around the UK doing big posing seminars. So that's a bit of a different kind of one. But it's that will be the promoters for each one of those. Oh, wow. We've already booked the venues around the country. And, we found the venue. So as soon as they confirm, we'll get them booked and get the dates booked in and... going to show the UK how to pose.
Look at you. So do you know what time judging starts Sunday for this, the British Grand Prix?
Not a clue.
Not a clue. Okay, well.
No, I think AJ's got it all because I thought I was going to have too much work because I've got I've got Global to sort out Monday and Tuesday, and I've got these tours and the Ronnie show to edit and all this sort of stuff. But AJ's flying in, so I'm going to meet him down there. So we're going to go to the show. It's going to be really good, and I'm very excited. And it's going to be nice to catch up with everyone, and it's going to be good to get this to get the pro bodybuilding scene really firing as well. I hope everyone shows up and supports it. Bob was messaging me today, Bob Chick. So we're looking forward. He's excited to see us and everything. So we're looking forward to seeing him as well. So it's going to be. I'm
looking forward to the first ever play-by-play with Giles and AJ at the show together. It should be crazy. So that's why I was trying to get a time. I'll put it on the forums, but whenever the show's happening, they're going to be guys. They're going to be doing it live. So whenever judging and finals are occurring over in London, adjust your time zones appropriately wherever you are in the world. In the U.S., you're going to be 5 hours behind on the East Coast, 8 hours behind on the West Coast. You lazy bums waking up so late. So I'm looking forward to following along and reading your commentary, seeing some pictures, and just getting your take and AJ's take. AJ did one play-by-play by himself in Romania last year. Did a bang-up job for the first time. That's not it's not an easy job play-by-play. It's very difficult actually. So the people that make it look easy, that's a special skill. It usually takes years to hone, but AJ's picking up everything fast. He's a fast learner.
Sure is.
Well, Giles, thank you so much. I knew you were the only person that could properly do this preview of the British Grand Prix because, for those who don't know, Giles has been covering bodybuilding, pro bodybuilding, since he was 17 years old, back in 1995. I don't think we're giving away your age too much. Is that right? The right year?
19 I was.
Yeah, 19. Okay, so he's been doing this for a while, folks. He had his own website, UK Muscle, that I used to check out and chat on the forums with. So it's going to be a very cool play-by-play. So please log on. We're going to have that on the Muscular Development Noble Forum on Sunday. Giles, thank you for taking the time and doing this cool preview. Appreciate it, of course.
pleasure.
Continued success. Watch his show, Global Muscle Radio. It's on YouTube. It's on iTunes. And what else is it on?
SoundCloud, Pandora, and Player FM.
Yeah, it's on. It's everywhere you can basically get a podcast. You can find Global Muscle Radio. Action-packed, awesome interaction and jokes between AJ and Giles. And then it's always a star-studded cast. Every week they get some great guests. So make sure you check that out, everybody. And that'll do it for me, Ron Harris, Ronline Report, British Grand Prix Pro Preview. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.